What? December's gone.
Is it already?
Go.
The whole calendar can go.
Hold on.
I know, and I went to get new ones today.
Do we have any citizens or public comments?
Excuse me, Your Honor, you're 2 minutes late on the Friesman time clock.
Oh my
November
gosh.
2017.
I just thought I'd say that.
Things never change.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, everybody. Consideration of approval of the agenda.
So move, Your Honor.
I don't need this.
Clerk will call the roll.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
The agenda is approved as submitted. Consideration of approval of the minutes of the December 14 and December 19 meetings. Any discussion or questions?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Clerk will call the roll.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
The minutes of the December 14 and December 19 meetings are approved. Consideration of approval of the consent calendar. Any questions regarding the consent calendar?
So move, Your Honor.
Clerk will call.
Second.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Consent calendar is approved as submitted. Business of the Mayor. We have a proclamation regarding National Mentoring Month. Do we have somebody here to speak on their behalf?
Hi there.
Hi.
My name is Megan Ressex. I'm the program manager here in Charles City for the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Iowa program. Our program's currently serving over 300 children across 6 counties in Northeast Iowa. Nearly 40 of those are here in Charles City, which is great. We're growing. We continue to grow. And we would just like, we asked the mayor tonight to go ahead and sign a proclamation declaring January National Mentoring Month. We celebrate that within the mentoring community across the nation, and we're excited to have Charles City join in that with us tonight. Here with me is one of our matches in the program. Do you want to introduce yourselves and say maybe how long you've been matched and what you like to do together?
My name is Jamie.
Step up to the microphone.
Don't be shy.
My name is Jamie, and I'm with Carol.
I'm Carol Melrose, and I think we've been matched maybe 4 months.
Almost 4, yeah.
Yeah. So,
They're a newer match in our program. Both have been matched previously in our program, and we're excited with this match because they seem to be a great fit, and they're meeting every week and getting out in the community. And anything else? Any questions for us at all?
Do you have enough mentors right now?
There's always a need for mentors.
Okay.
I always have a wait list. We try not to let that wait list get over a dozen, so we do turn kids away from the program every so often. I just got 3 more mentors last week, so
Good.
they just keep rolling in.
Do you have any special activities as far as making people more aware of the program during the month?
Well, we just had our, I'm sorry, I'm away from the mic. I'm loud anyway, though. We just had our 100 Bigs and 100 Days recruitment campaign. We did meet our goal as far as, across all of our 6 counties. We are still not hurting, but wanting here in Charles City, especially for male mentors in particular. It seems to be more difficult to get the men out there to volunteer. We always have women willing to do so, but we'd really like to push for some more males.
So, there's a similar program in Osage, is that correct?
That's correct. It's not a Big Brothers Big Sisters program, but it's a great mentoring program. I think they operate around 65 matches, and they have 2 full-time staff and 2 part-time, so they're doing really well. We strive to be just as good as them. We're well on our way. This is actually Katie Orlando. She's our CEO out of the Waterloo office. Did you want to say a couple words, Kate? Sure.
I'm a little late. Traffic was actually surprisingly heavy from Waterloo. But I'm Katie. I'm just so happy that Big Brothers Big Sisters is now serving Floyd County. We, as Megan probably mentioned, we transitioned Care and Connections to Big Brothers Big Sisters. And with the support the agency was getting, plus some state grants, we're able to serve a lot more kids up here together, working together. So we're just really happy. We have an upcoming event, the Start Something Big Breakfast. Your invitations are in the mail. And we hope that we see you there. That's on January 18th. And we thank you so much for your support.
Any other questions?
Thank you, and I would so move.
Second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager. Friesman.
Aye.
Okay, the proclamation's approved. I'll come down and read it. And whoever, you can all stand
Yes.
to receive it.
Well, we'll let you take your coat off. Gosh.
The mayor will line you up when he gets down there.
Yes.
My phone's almost dead, otherwise I would have volunteered. Thanks for bearing with us, by
Oh,
the
and
way.
heaven's sakes, no.
You're fine.
Glad to have you here.
Just this way?
Field, the Martin Luther King Field. What's that?
Eventually, he'll take your pictures. So. There you go. Whereas a mentor is a caring, consistent presence who devotes time to a young person to help that young person discover personal strength and achieve their potential through a structured and trusting relationship. And whereas quality mentoring encourages positive choices, promotes self-esteem, supports academic achievement, and introduces young people to new ideas. And whereas mentoring programs have shown to be effective in combating school violence and discipline problems, substance abuse, incarceration, and truancy, and whereas youth development experts agree that mentoring is critical to the social, emotional, and cognitive development of youth, helping them navigate the path to adulthood more successfully, and mentors help young people set career goals and use their personal contacts to help young people meeting industry professionals and finding jobs. And whereas the City of Charles City appreciates the contributions of all those who serve as mentors, our big brothers / big sisters of Northeast Iowa, and the Job Foundation for bringing your certified mentoring programs to the City of Charles City. Now therefore, I, James A. Yerb, Mayor of Charles City, Iowa, do hereby proclaim the month of January as National Mentoring Month in the City of Charles City, Iowa. Signed by myself. Thank you very much for coming. We've been working to strengthen this program in this community for a lot of years. I think we would like to at least match what's going on in Osage, because I'm pretty well aware of how successful that program has been over the years. Do we have any pictures that we can take? Okay.
Thank you so much. And then text it. Thank you so much. Here, Megan. Or here, we'll have to hold it. Yeah, have Carol and Jimmy hold it.
Here, I'll step.
Yeah, get in there.
We can go behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay, the next item up is the actually reappointment, and the list Ken Scheckler, Chris Eldridge, and James Smith of the Park and Rec Board. We actually have a series of reappointments. I'd have to say this has not happened to me in a long time.
Right.
I'll go through the list. I think we've already become familiar, and I have no reason to not do any of these reappointments. It's Bill Wohlers and Dan Barrett from the Board of Adjustment. Mike Boss from Building Trades Advisory Board. Ed Hobart from the Electrical Board. Michael Berrigan and Mary Ann Townsend from Historic Preservation. As indicated, the aforementioned Jim Smith, Ken Scheckler, and Chris Eldridge from the Park and Rec Board. From Planning and Zoning, we have Rick Noah and Larry Johnson. From the Plumbing Board, Gary Mills. And I'm switching things around a little bit, but having the same people, we have Michael Berrigan and Tourism Steering Committee representing the lodging interests, and Mary Ann Townsend being representative of the Chamber and the Tourism Committee. So those are the names that what I have. I just would add one thing. We are still searching at this point for one individual for Civil Service Commission. Mark Melrose has turned in his resignation effective as the end of December, and we're still searching for that replacement. I believe I've covered everything that I had to suggest regarding my reappointments. Is there a motion to approve those, or any questions?
I would so move, Your Honor,
Second.
and thank all those people for serving.
Yeah, I did indeed when I went around and did the entire list, and they all seemed to be quite interested in what they were doing and wanted to continue on. So I didn't run into any concerns whatsoever in doing that whole list.
I think we're really lucky to have this kind of a competent population who will serve in these roles.
Mm-hmm.
If people are confident, the names I know.
Okay, all those in favor of the appointments signify by saying aye. No, we'll...
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Need a motion? Yeah, and
Yep,
we have got that. Clerk will call the roll.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Okay, we have those appointments approved. Now, the other item is indicated as review council committee appointments. I think everybody, and we sent out with the materials a listing of the board commissions, committees, and liaison, and so on. Do we have any changes there? And do we have any other concerns with representation of council members on any particular boards or commissions? I don't think we have to, I don't need a motion, I just want to be sure we've got the right people where they want to be. And, you know, we've got listings for such things as the Floyd County Ambulance Commission that don't meet very often. You will see that the Floyd County Communications Joint Board gets, that matter is handled in June and July, not at this point in time. Any other questions? Okay. Next up, request for street closures for Martin Luther King Day Parade on January 16. Discussion. Hello.
Yep. You want to come up? Yep, sorry.
Yes. We have a small little Be the Bridge racial reconciliation group that meets here in Charles City. And we are just wanting to put together a little program for Martin Luther King Day. I have a flyer. Do you want to pass this around? Do you guys want to check it out?
Sure.
Sure, if you want to, that'd be great.
Can you get her name?
Vicki,
Thank you.
I know what her name is.
Wow.
Vicki, do you want to state your name?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry. That's, yeah. Vicki Bruning. Yes. And so I'm just working with Phil Knighton and Keisha Cunnings and just a couple other members of the community, and we're just putting together this little program to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. So we're just asking if we can have the street closed for maybe half an hour to walk across the bridge, and then we will make our way to the KC Hall to have the program.
And maybe for some clarification, I know Hugh and I visited with you on the
Yes.
phone. The street isn't actually going to be totally closed. Is it just going to be the one side, Hugh, that we had talked about?
We're going to close the entire thing.
Oh, okay.
Main Street.
Oh, okay. I thought we talked about just
That
doing...
we talked about, where we're coming off Court. Now, instead of meeting on Main Street, we're going to meet on Court in the parking lot there, then we won't close the entire street just because of darkness for safety.
Gotcha. Okay.
aspects.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because we don't know, Vicky's still trying to come up with a number, right? And it could be a fairly large number. So
Yeah, it's so hard to tell. We have been able to advertise within the school system and, you know, kind of get the Rotary Club on board to share with their members and some other service clubs. So we're hoping and advertising in the paper. Of course, we would love to have as many people come out, and families included. So that kind of adds up when you add kids into the factor. So, yeah, it's hard to tell. You know, maybe 50, but we're hoping maybe 200. I mean, so hard to tell.
So you're going from Court to Main across the bridge. On
then
Clark-
along Riverside
Clark-
up to Clark Street. and then
Riverside to
on
Clark. And it's a one-time thing, is probably an hour or two at most.
It'll be shorter than that.
Yeah.
You got a program then.
Yes, we have a program that we're going to do at the KC Hall. So, I mean, hopefully it only takes us, you know, half an hour. We start at 6 and leave from the courthouse. So hopefully from the courthouse to the KC Hall is just half an hour.
It's on a Sunday, so that's good.
It's on a Monday night,
It's a
actually.
Actually, I think it may be in conflict with our council meeting.
Monday, the 16th.
Oh.
I may be, oh, do we close?
No, we don't.
No,
close
we
Martin
went-
Luther King.
So it would be in conflict then.
January 16th, yeah,
Yeah.
same time.
Monday.
Council meeting's at 6 that night.
Other questions or discussion? The request is for the street closure of Main Street,
Main Street Bridge.
That won't kill
just the
nobody.
bridge.
Well, Main Street and,
It'll close the 100 block also for that time, for any traffic coming southbound.
so from Court across to the 100 block and then up
Riverside.
Riverside.
Jackson.
Yeah.
What's the time frame of it?
It would be 6 to 6:30 for the street closures, yes.
I'd so move.
Second.
Second.
Clerk will call the roll.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Okay, the street closure request is granted.
Wishing you warm weather.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks, Vicki.
Okay, miscellaneous correspondence.
None, Your Honor.
City Attorney's report.
Yes, Your Honor. The prospective owner of 301 South Johnson stopped by my office last week and signed the agreement that the council approved, I believe at its last meeting. And John prepared I know the council discussed providing some more detail on the specific actions he would need to take to abate the nuisance conditions. So John prepared a letter laying forth what actions will be required to take to abate those conditions to the city's satisfaction. I provided that to him and had a good conversation with him. I believe he stopped by John's after that and had a good conversation with John too. So as soon as the weather cooperates, we'll complete the controlled burn and get started on that project.
I appreciate that list too. It's
Sounds good.
Even though it's spelled out in the code, it's nice when both parties can just know, all right, here's what we're looking at there, and he wasn't gonna have a problem doing it anyways. Just now both sides know exactly what we're talking about, and makes it a non-issue that way.
Anything else?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
City Clerk's report.
We will have our next council meeting on January 11th at 4:30. It's actually the first of our budget meetings, and that will be at 4:30.
11th to 4:30.
AM or PM?
PM.
Now, is that when the planning session,
Yeah, it will be a combination planning/budget. We'll incorporate it all into one big meeting.
so it starts at 4:30, but it may go as late as 7:30 or 8 o'clock?
No, we'll do the planning portion of it first, the planning session portion first, and then we'll do the budget, the second part of it, so.
They go
We'll
as
keep
late
things
as
moving.
6 p.m.
I hope it doesn't go as late as 7:30, but,
Well, that's what I was asking about.
yeah, no,
May go as late
it'll
as-
all be done at the same time.
May
so.
go as late as 6 p.m.
Oh, there we go, that works.
Okay. City Administrator's report.
Just a couple things. We sent out letters a week before last just to, we have a list of our frozen service line folks in town who either have a shallow line or a shallow main. In the wintertime, we, when the weather gets cold enough and the temperature of the water gets cold enough in the mains, once it reaches about 40 degrees, then we start getting, concerned about mains and lines freezing. And we have a list of folks that we work with on that. And so this year we proactively sent out a letter to all those people on the list, letting them know that, that we'll be keeping an eye on the temperature, and it's not until it gets to about 40 degrees that we look to make an announcement. Because if you recall, last year we had somebody that started running their water ahead of time without city permission, and they had to pay for that water that they use. So we wanted to be proactive on that this year and make sure that didn't happen. So we sent out a notice to all those property owners. This Thursday, we have a law enforcement committee meeting at 5, just a reminder. And then at 6:30, we're going to be doing a tour of the jail and a tour of the police department. So other council members, if anybody's interested in attending, I'd like to know, because if we go over 2, we'll have a quorum, so we'll need to post that meeting. So Dan, Michael, Jerry, if you plan on attending, please let me know so Trudy and I can.
Thursday at 6?
It'll be about 6:30, I'm guessing. And I would think we would start here with the tour, since this is where we're going to have our meeting, tour of the police department, and then tour of the jail. So just need to know if we're going to have quorum.
Let me remember that day was a conflict for me anyway, so I won't be there.
Okay.
I'll help out that way.
All right. So, yeah, guys, let me know. Just following up, there's a copy of a letter up there, response to a concern that I drafted. Please take a look at that and let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, Trudy mentioned next budget workshop, 4:30 on the 11th. And that's all I
Couple
have.
quick questions for you, Steve. As far as the parking up at the north end of Main, is that situation improving a little bit, or?
Well, I was on vacation last week, so I haven't heard any more complaints.
It has improved. We've written a lot less parking tickets than we had in the past. People are, I think, getting used to it and falling more in line with it, so it has improved quite drastically, actually.
Good.
I see there are more cars parking in their parking lot as less items are in their parking lot, so that's improving.
Good.
So that's good to hear.
Good. I assume at one of the next workshops we'll get back to talking about the north end of Main Street and.
Yep. In fact, I know tomorrow John and I are meeting with the gentleman from Farmers Feed and Grain and continue to touch base with property owners up there to see how that might work into a situation for that potential sale.
Well, we're on parking, just as a matter of the way I drive home in the evenings. First Avenue continues to have just a lot of parking on both sides of the street, I think, and especially when you start getting ice and any other problems. I don't know. it's theoretically supposed to be one of the direct routes, and there's a lot of cars and vehicles there.
Well, that curve there at the end seems to get narrower and narrower every year, too.
It gets to be kind of fun, because go up those times too, you go zigzag, zigzag, and have a good time.
Like a pinball machine,
Yeah.
huh?
That is a good point. I don't know if that's something that if we've ever, I think technically it's wide enough for 4 lanes, 2 parking and 2 travel, but in practice.
Technically it is, Steve, but logically, it's not going to happen. Technically, you get about 4 inches between each car on 4 lanes, but when 2 of them are moving, that don't happen. It's becoming a problem because of the school situation. More traffic is going up First Avenue. I don't have a problem with that, but it is becoming more of a problem, and I don't know what kind of control you can do on that. You make no parking on one side or the other is going to be a real problem.
That's typically the answer, or you widen the street.
Yeah, and you haven't got a lot of room to widen a lot of it.
Or, if it's a matter of people not parking close enough to the curb, I guess, I don't know, maybe that's a tough enforcement type of situation.
I would say just keep a close eye on it for now, because see what happens.
I travel that road pretty frequently as well, and
I know you do.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I find it kind
Cars
of
on both
fun. I
sides.
get off Clark Street, go ding, ding, ding,
Oh,
ding.
goodness.
Okay, anything else?
That's all I have.
Board, commission, or committee reports?
Don't really have a committee report, but probably not the proper place for it, but I received a number of concerns from residents on asking us if we would be willing to switch to garbage bins instead of garbage bags. I've forwarded that on to Steve, and they are working with Generals to see options and everything, but it's been passed along and just to see if it's feasible.
Okay.
Discussion, upcoming workshop, perhaps.
Anything else for board, commission, or committee reports? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move, Your Honor.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We're adjourned.
I know, the year is over. Woohoo.
Buy it.
Partially turn and do a little more city work. So
Sounds
we'll see where it's going.
You just,